Hello there and welcome back. We've completed building our Bootstrap 3.0 website. It looks good, it's functional, and has a lot of really neat features. So what's next? We're ready to look at deploying our site to a server of its own. So what we need to do is discuss shortly about how we're going to manage all of the portions of our website once it's up on the server. It only makes sense to make that as easy as possible. So one of the things we're going to do is use PHP includes. Basically what that's going to accomplish is we will be able to section off our site into repeatable and manageable portions that will repeat themselves throughout each and every page. So let's take a look at this page and let's see what we could possibly repeat. Well, we know that our header up here is never going to change, and if it does, we want that change to be made throughout the entire site. You don't want to be going from page to page making those updates. Also, our footer is largely going to stay exactly the same. So we can use a technology called PHP includes. And you can use any language of your choice, but I prefer to use PHP for this particular use case. You can read more about PHP includes on the PHP manual website. It's just php.net. And writing up an include is fairly simple. For instance, I will take and we can maybe open up a new file. I'll just rename this example.php. Okay, and so an include is fairly simple. In its construction, we just open up with PHP tags. So bracket question mark PHP, and then in that with another question mark and another bracket. Inside of that, we simply state include, open parentheses, and close that off kind of like a JavaScript statement. Within that, we can set a file path. For instance, we might have an includes folder, and then we'll have a header.php. And that is a valid PHP include. Great, so we know how to write one, but we also need a PHP server locally on our machine to be able to test these things accurately. Since I'm on Windows, I make use of a technology called Microsoft Web Matrix. It lets me set up an automatic PHP server depending on any folder that I'd like. However, if you are on a Mac or if you just don't want to use Web Matrix, check out MAMP or MAMP Pro for the Mac. It's a very simple one-click install web server, and it gives you an htdocs folder that you'll be able to test your site in. Also, if you're on Windows and you'd like to use the same technology, use WAMP server. It's a really great server, and it's just as easy to install. Web Matrix by Microsoft is what I'm going to be using today. In my experience, it's quick and easy to use and easy to set up to get started on a very small scale site like the one we'll be editing today. So let's get hooked in. I'll open up Web Matrix, go to Open, find our folder. Alright, we need to find our desktop and then ClearStep. So we have our ClearStep folder, looks good, and we'll select that folder. The system will auto-detect what type of program or programming language that we will need or we will be using. We'll open up our index.html file, and we're all ready to go. In our next video, we'll go over extracting your code and then placing that into their own include files ready to upload onto our web server.